What's going on, everybody? Sean Daniel with Guitar Control here, and today we are going to learn how to jazzify any chord in a key. So make sure you click the link below because I'm going to tab out everything we're doing here. And without further ado, let's get to it. What does it mean to even jazzify a chord? Basically, in any key, there are 6 main chords and then a 7th that you kind of sometimes use. We're going to use the key of G as an example. So let's run through all the chords in the key of G. We have G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor. Then we have that F sharp, which is kind of like a diminished chord, and then back to G. Okay, so those are all the notes in the G major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But all those notes become a chord. G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F diminished, and then back to G. Okay, so first of all, you might want to know that. It's pretty important. That's why you can like number chords and stuff like that. Now, you can play any of those chords in any order and kind of come up with a cool song, or you can kind of get a little jazzier. Now, this isn't just for playing jazz, but you can add a note to every single one of those chords that we just did to make it sound jazzier, and then use that knowledge to whatever means that you're up to, okay? So when I say we're going to add a note to it, we're just going to add a note from that key, and it's going to be the 7th note away from where we start. Now, if that has already glazed your eyes over, don't worry, we're going to break it down super simple. But I want to talk about how many notes are in these chords. Like this G major chord we started with, it's called a triad because it only has 3 notes. Now, it's important to maybe know the names of those notes, like a G, a B, and a D. Even though we're playing 6 strings, we're only playing 3 different notes. This is a G, this is a B, this is a D, another G, another B, and another G. What I said earlier about adding another note to that chord to make it jazzy is going to turn it into a major 7 chord. So 7 notes away from G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in that major scale ends up being an F sharp. So we're going to add this note to this chord, and thus we get this, okay? So this is going to be our first jazzy chord, G major 7. Now you can already kind of hear a little bit of this. Like let's just take a regular chord progression like G, B minor to C, okay? G, B minor, C, G. Now let's use the G major 7 in that spot. It has a subtle difference. That might not be jazzy. I mean, that's kind of like up to how you define that word, but this is a great chord to know, okay? So we start with the same note, albeit with a different finger than a regular G major chord voice, and your pointer finger is on the 3rd fret of the E string. We're going to skip the A string. Your ring finger is going to grab the 4th fret of the D string, your pinky is going to grab the 4th fret of the G string, and your middle finger is going to grab the 3rd fret of the B string. Okay? So here's your root note G, and this hand shape gives you the major 7 chord. Now you can move this around. G major 7, G sharp major 7, A major 7, A sharp major 7, so on and so forth. But in this key, this is our new 1 chord that you can always replace a G with, alright? So, the next chord, what's the 2nd chord in the key of G? G, A, minor, okay? Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take the 7th note away from A in the G major scale, and then add that to this chord, okay? So, if we start on A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we actually get a G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So if we add a G to an A minor, we get an A minor 7. Now the easiest way to do that is just take this chord right here, A minor, and put your pinky down on the 3rd fret of the high E string. So we'd have G, G major 7 to A minor 7. Now the thing about this shape right here is if you try moving it, like let's try it, like remember how we moved this all over the place? If you try moving this, it doesn't get the same effect. So we're going to learn a closed voice shape that's going to look like this. Okay, so now this version of A minor 7 is really easy conceptually. You just bar the 5th fret but skip the A string. Okay, so I have 5E with my middle finger, 5D with my ring finger, 5G with my pinky. You can play it just like that, you can bar down with your ring finger to get it like that. There's a couple different ways that we can do this. I want to just make the easier way where we just have 3 notes like this. Okay, it still counts as an A minor 7. G major 7 to A minor 7. The great thing about this shape, like I said, we can move it around. So that's what we're gonna do for the 3rd note in the key of G. That B, G, A, B. B minor is usually the chord that we've done. We're going to swap this out for B minor 7. So we're just going to take this shape and move it 2 frets higher. G major 7, A minor 7, B minor 7. And then we get to a C, right? C is the 4th chord in the key of G. G, A, B, C. Now again, we can make this a major 7 by taking the 7th note away from C in that key. C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. So we just need to find a way to add a B note to a C. The easiest way to do that, pop your pointer finger off there. Make it just like that. But, again, this is, you know, really not a movable shape. So we're just going to take the same shape as the first one, but now root it on the 8th fret of the low E string, okay? So instead of G, A, minor, B minor, C, we have G major 7, A minor 7, B minor 7, C major 7, okay? What's the 5th note in the key of G? G, A, B, C, D. Alright, now it's usually D major chord. You might think that you could just add that same thing as before to make it a D major 7 chord. That's technically going outside of the key a little bit. The interesting thing about the 5th note in any key is it turns into a dominant 7 chord voicing. So D dominant 7, a D7, might be something you've seen before. Again, the difference between major 7 and dominant 7 or 7 is just that 7th note away from a key. A dominant 7 has what's called a flat 7. Again, if that's something you're interested in, we have a lot of videos on music theory on this channel that I've done before, so check those out. Otherwise, just learn a shape, right? This is a D7 shape that maybe you've learned before. Ring finger 2E, pointer finger 1B, middle finger 2G, and then open D. I want to take the same shape but do it in a closed voice down here on the 10th fret. This is going to be our jazzy D7, alright? So, middle finger on that D, 10th fret of the low E string, pointer finger 9A, ring finger 10D, pinky 11G. Super jazzy, right? Especially on this awesome D'Angelico Deluxe SS semi-hollow body guitar. So, G major 7, A minor 7, B minor 7, C major 7, D7. Okay, now notice the way I'm playing it. I'm hitting the root note first, and then striking the rest of the chord. And I think kind of distinguishing between that root and the rest of the chord kind of gives it a cool sound where you're, you know, accentuating the jazziness of that chord. Now the 6th chord in the key of G. G, A, B, C, D, E. E minor. E is another minor chord. Therefore, we can turn it into another minor 7 chord. So let's keep doing that. On the 12th fret, same shape with the A and the B. Now is the E minor 7 chord voicing. A much easier way to make E minor 7 chord voicing is to make an E minor chord and then just lift your ring finger up. Open E minor 7, close G minor 7. Technically the same chord, but this shape again is movable. Whereas this one just kind of, you know, sounds good mostly here. Maybe some other spots if you want to just experiment. But those are the 6 main chords. The last one we're at is the 7th chord, which is going to be a minor 7 flat 5, or a half diminished chord is what it's called. So in the key of G, that 7th note is F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. So we're going to figure out a way to add a chord voicing that gives us that next chord. Now, one way to do it would be this chord voicing right here. That's kind of a tricky one, depending on guitar too, especially on an acoustic guitar. F sharp, minor 7 flat 5 rooted on the E string is a tough one. You can do it up here if you want. I think the chord voicing we're going to use, or the one that we're going to use for this video, is going to look like this right here. The 9th fret of the A string is our root, the 10th fret of the D string with your ring finger, the 9th fret of the G string with your middle finger, and the 10th fret of the B string with your pinky. And the great thing about this is we're going to end here, which is a higher voiced G major 7 chord. So that's a free chord voicing, a bonus chord voicing, right? So here's the 7 chord, F sharp half diminished. Now if we just move this 2 frets higher and take your pointer finger back, that gives us the A string rooted version of a major 7 chord. Okay, so this is a G, the 10th fret on the A string is a G, G, major 7. So now we can run through what's called a chord scale of these in jazzy terms. A chord scale is just like a scale, but instead of single notes, you get the corresponding chord. So instead of G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, we have G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Okay, so I'll go through that one more time slower. And again, make sure you click the link below because it has the tab of all these in a row. G major 7, A minor 7, B minor 7, C major 7, D 7, dominant 7, E minor 7, F sharp half diminished. You can mix those up in any order and it'll sound kind of jazzy. You can just randomly go through them. B to A, C, D, E, A, B. There's that 7 chord. And usually it'll sound resolved when you end up at home, here or here. So just kind of like a quick, almost like an intro to jazz chords lesson. You know, there's a lot more to jazz, but I think that's a great place to start. So if you have any questions, let us know and make sure to click any of these other videos around here by myself, other great instructors on the Guitar Control channel. We go through a lot of different chord lessons, theory lessons, song lessons that you'll always run by some of these chords in genres outside of just jazz. So let us know what you think, and I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.